Welcome back to Periscope for Entrepreneurs. And in this video, we will discuss the topic of why you should care about Periscope. Now, the Periscope app is free to everyone who uses it, and it uses the contacts you already have to help you to get a foothold in video social media, because the integration between Periscope is seamless when it comes to the social network Twitter. That means that every Twitter user is a potential Periscope user, even though it's still possible for a user to join with just a mobile phone number. So if you haven't had a chance to really build your following in a social network like Twitter, you now have the opportunity to do so, and to do so with the medium of video. Now, basically, with Periscope, and one of the reasons why it's so incredibly powerful in terms of being able to get people to connect with you, is because it's allowing your Twitter followers not only to see what you write, but it's also allowing them to see the world through your eyes as you're experiencing it in real time. Of course, yes, they'll be able to see a recording, but those who connect with you live can see the world as you're seeing it. It really allows what marketer Russell Brunson calls to build an attractive character in real time. So in other words, people are going to become familiar with your life as you're experiencing it, not as you email it to them, not as you tell them about it. They'll be able to see it as you really are. And what you're basically doing with your customers, and you're doing it over the internet, you're doing it through a powerful medium like Twitter, over social media, is you are building a personal relationship. And you're doing that without spending an enormous amount of money on branding. And this is very important. So the impression that you're going to be creating in your customer's mind, you'll be able to do that with this powerful medium called Periscope. And really, if you want to know whether or not this really works, and whether or not it's really something that really will help you to build that connection with people, big brands are already doing this. They've already discovering this by creating the role of broadcaster with popular icons in society, as well as creating those roles with people in their company. Now, what do we mean by that, either with popular icons or people in the role in their company? Well, for example, automaker Nissan used Periscope to live stream the revealing of a new model of its car called the Maxima. And so they were able to bring an audience with their Twitter following using live video without paying anything for the actual event, the actual branding. Fast food restaurant in the United States called Taco Bell live streamed its celebration of an event, a special event on the calendar, by revealing a new product. So they were able to combine a special event, they were able to combine the revealing of a new product, and they were able to do this with Periscope, with their Twitter following. Retailers, JCPenney had a famous actress, her name is Eva Longoria, here in the United States, and she was able to introduce followers to a new line of bedding. Now, the product is not as important as the fact that the process that was used was, again, live streaming. It was Periscope, and it was done using Twitter and all of the other social media followings, as, again, instead of spending a large sum on expensive commercial video production. There was a cosmetic retailer, and the name of that cosmetic retailer is not as important as the fact that they use Periscope to do a live Q&A about a new line of products. So instead of just putting a live Q&A written on the page where a person goes and has to do all the reading, they were able to allow people to experience them live. So again, being able to do things like direct people to call to action, which we'll talk about later in terms of how you're going to be able to leverage Periscope. You're able to do all of this in real time. And in other cases, conference attendees, now when they attend a conference, they're able to give a behind the scenes look of any ceremony, any conference, as they're there, as they're experiencing it, again, by allowing people to see through their eyes what's really happening. And again, what happens is that the audience builds a connection with the person who's actually giving them the experience. Now, here's why you should really care. Understanding all of what we just talked about. If you rely solely on, let's say, static video or social media, what you're doing is you're really giving way to those who are willing to be more transparent with this live streaming application. And they're going to be more present with them. They're going to be more transparent with them. And these are your target market. So while they're spending time with people who are doing live streaming, again, you're missing out on that connection. So whether or not you're going to be effective with email over time will probably be dependent on the connection that you're able to make with them. And you can actually do that with live streaming, with the Periscope app. Now, in order to build a relationship, and this is key when you're talking about selling, whether or not you're selling digital products or physical products, if you're going to build a relationship where you are known, liked, and trusted, buyers are going to become more and more dependent on being able to be present with you by using these live streaming technologies. And that is why they're going to be so important as time goes on, both now and in the future. And so this is really why, one of the key reasons why you should begin caring about Periscope and what it can do for you. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.